Join us this summer for the epic fantasy series Forbidden, coming to Kickstarter. Welcome to the Craze in 10 or less. This is a show where I give it to you in 10 minutes or under. And if I don't, that just sucks. Anyway, are indies making comics to make a quick buck and hopefully get a film? Or they're making comics because they love the art form? That's the topic of the day. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. Stop acting up. Let's get it. So, why this topic? Well, I was watching an interview with Mike Tyson, and he said when he was boxing, in the days of boxing back then, they were killers. They were doing it for the love of the game. He said today, they're businessmen.
Hello.
And everyone's just looking to cash in and make a quick buck. So then I had to think about it. We've had a lot of indies on our show, and I can't tell you how many are creating their concepts to be able to pitch. Then it dawned on me. How many are doing it because they want to make a quick buck? Or they're doing it for the love of the game? It's a tough question to answer, because I don't know the facts. I don't know. But let's look at some of the indie comics that became movies over the years. Yeah, like Two Guns, 30 Days of Night. I love 30 Days of Night. And you had 30 Days of Night, Dark Days. You had 300, Art School. You had Barbed Wire. Remember Barbed Wire? Wow. Black Mass with Jet Li. Black Mass 2. Bulletproof Monk. Like, I didn't even know those were comic books. Cemetery Man. Cowboys and Aliens. That was a cool, fun movie. The Crow. Really good movie. The Dead One, El Muerto. Wow. That's my boy Javier Hernandez. Dread. Dylan Dog. Faust. Love of the Damned. From Hell. Ghost World. G-Men. Hellboy. The Hellboy franchise. The Judge Dredd franchise. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The Mask. Men in Black. Modesty Blaze. Never heard of it. Monkey Bone. Mystery Men. Phantom. Priest. I enjoyed Priest. That was a good one. You had Ripped. R.I.P.D. The Rocketeer. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Sin City. Spawn. Never had a sequel to that. What's up with that, McFarlane? Spirit. Surrogates. Tales from the Crypt. Let's see. What else? You had the Turtles, of course. Tank Girl. Time Cop. V for Vendetta. Vault of Horror. Trailer Park of Terror. Wanted. And Virus. And I'm sure there's more, but that's the list that I have that I'm looking at. Listchallenges.com, which lists indie comic books. But then I also have to think about how many were not even picked up. How many were pitched and rejected? How many were pitched, were optioned, and never made? It's a lot to think about, right? But then you got to think about how many cats that are creating crowdfunding campaigns to try to generate enough buzz to be able to pitch an idea. So it changes, right? The art form changed over the years. Generally, in the beginning, it was prior to social media, it was just breaking into comics was the dream. Now that's not enough. Now it's not just breaking into comics, it's cashing in. You know, you put things into perspective. You think about like Jake Paul and Logan Paul, the brothers, right? Social media. They were able to create a niche on YouTube. And not only that, they were able to capitalize on so many industries. And now boxing. right? So you had Jake Paul fight a retired UFC wrestler, basically, who was not a striker, and he knocked him out. Now you have Logan Paul going to fight Mayweather. Logan Paul is almost twice his size, outweighs him, younger, and he's fighting, is for the money. So the hype around it. So how many cats are doing that in comics? Not saying it's right or wrong. It's just a question dawned on me when I was listening to Mike Tyson talking. So it made, put things in perspective. And then when I go back and look at what we're doing here, outside of Catch the Crazies, which we created to really promote us as a brand, as a podcast, as buddies telling our story with a fun twist, we're still promoting books that we created years ago. There's Nailing in My Toilet, Forbidden, Cosmic Wars, Rush 5377, Wonder Duck. The intent was to really build an audience around our creativity. The plus is options, licensing, branding. But we've been doing it for a minute. But there's a lot of cats that, we've had a couple of people that shall remain nameless that we had on the show that decided to create a book because they're looking at it as a means to pitch to Hollywood, to Netflix, to Amazon Prime. Does that take away from the art of storytelling? Does that enhance it? That it eliminates the credibility of of comics? Does it water it down a bit? Those are all questions that have valid points to them, but I think it's a matter of perspective and it's a matter of who you ask. Because I guarantee you're going to get a different response from every person. You're never going to get the same response. And you're going to have the ones that say, no, I love comics, that's why I'm doing it. But really, their motive is, the intent is to pitch. Then you're going to have the ones that are really transparent. I'm only doing this because I'm trying to make some money. And let's be real. Indie comics, there's a lot of body bags. A lot of broke people. Indie comics is a tough market to break into. It's a tough avenue to try to navigate in. So rough waters. For many, many reasons, and you've heard it on many different podcasts, including ours, credibility, consistency. Most indies are not business people. And that's where the failure begins. Most indies that try to go into independent publishing fail to understand certain critical elements that need to take place with branding and marketing and networking. And not only that, sometimes rush to the finish line with only the first issue. I think the branding, the outreach, which is trying to get it into stores, all that stuff, should begin after you have at least 10 issues done. At minimum 5, start with 5, right? This way you have 5 months in the pipeline. So for instance, you have 5 books done, you start soliciting, the stores start picking it up. Let's hypothetically, 5 books done, it's May 1st, you start soliciting to the stores and distributors. If you don't get a distributor, you start soliciting to stores, you're going to do grassroots, guerrilla style, right? And let's say, all right, you got enough orders to start getting it into stores by June 1st. Hopefully you're working on issue 6 during this entire conversation, right? So you have 5 books already completed. Number 1 goes in June. That means 2 July, 3 August, 4 September, 5 October. You should already, within those 6 months, you should have 7 and 8 done. Or 6 and 7 done, whatever it is. So those are the things you want to keep in mind because you want consistency. If for the retailers to take you seriously, you need to have consistency. If If it's a mini series, a 6-shot mini series, finish it, then solicit it. But then understand you have to start buying advertisement. You have to press releases, promote, network, hit the streets. That's besides the point. But that's why a lot of indies fail, because of all those elements that have to happen along the way as well. So is it, let me just get a one shot and use this as my pitch. But then who are you going to pitch it to? How are you going to get into the right hands? Where are you going to start? Where are you going to go? Who are you going to talk to? So all those things come into play. And I can go on for days. I love to have this conversation with you. If you want to have this conversation on the live show, let me know. If whoever's watching today, or if you want to join me on a group discussion about this subject, let me know. We can do that. But I just thought it was something I was thinking about today. Initially, I was going to do the shout out show on the Craze and Less, but I decided to do the shout out show as a separate show. But it's fascinating to think that how fast we have changed and evolved, and what will happen in the next coming days, and what is happening, and what are our motives. I can tell you now, I'm doing this because I love it. I actually love podcasting even more. But my goal, hopefully, is to get my book into the masses, one form or another. But in order to do that, I have to finish it. And so that was the topic of the day. I don't know if you enjoyed this topic or not, if I didn't go too in deep with it, because there are a lot of hypotheticals. I don't have the answers to this. Just something came up. I thought about it, and I said, hey, it's a good thing to talk about. I don't know how true it is, So that's the Crazy 10 or Less. This was the topic of the day. If you want to submit a topic, if you want me to cover a topic, just hit me up in the chat. Write it down below. Let me know what you'd like me to cover. If you want to join me in a discussion on that, let me know. We can set it up. We're going to be live tomorrow night with another indie creator who's promoting a Kickstarter, and Wednesday night with another indie creator promoting a Kickstarter. And check out What's in the Box. I moved What's in the Box to Thursdays because we have a live show on Tuesday and Wednesday, so I moved it to Thursday. So you have something every week, and then we have a new guest on Friday. So it's a busy week. So I appreciate you. Don't forget to meet me at ZoloCon July. Jonathan and I are going to be traveling together. We're hitting the road. We're going to ZoloCon. Never been, but it sounds fun, and it's in PA. So it's about a 2-hour drive for us. We're going to stay the night. One night only. We're going to go and I'm going in Friday to set it up, but then I'll come back home. But then Saturday I will be driving in, and start driving back on Sunday. So, and Forbidden on Kickstarter will be launching soon. We just got to wait for Kickstarter to give me the approval to promote the landing page, because they're still trying to reconcile our Kickstarter for Catch the Crazies. They had some trouble collecting fees. And so they just closed the books, so we should be getting payment by Friday, and we'll send everything to the printers by that Saturday, and it'll take about 5 days to get it back, 6 days, and then hopefully you have it before the end of the month. All right, I'm Sam the Crazy Man Rare. This is the Crazy 10 or Less. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share it with a friend. Talk to you soon. Peace.